Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, 22!
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. Now Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Carolina. Dallas Goedert, 76 yards. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. Right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Switch. Tighten up. Rush in. And middle.
On second down, Johnson. He finds some open field here. And he's going to get this deep on the Carolina side of the field. And he is finally going to be brought down, but not before he gets it to the Panthers 11. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Stafford. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brian Burns in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
59 mark, 59 mark. Check, 59. Big 20. Mike.
Now Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Prater's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Newton. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Ready. Mike 40. Quit talking about it and bring it. He's checking. 20. Jumping.
Cam's going to run the option right. He can run for it, and he will. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Newton to throw, eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Great, great.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Carolina.
Motion out of the backfield. Motion out of the backfield. Mike's 40. Mike's 40. 8.
On first and 10, Newton. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Throwing is Newton. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. It's third down and 14.
The Panthers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Newton now to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
We got this.
Lions take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Mike's partner.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And some space here.
Intercepted for the Panthers. His guys take over first and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short. So we come upon halftime, intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he's stopped right around the 29. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. So they will go for it. Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Double right.
Stafford on first down. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On second down now, it's Johnson. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
50. Zebra.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
50.
To throw is Stafford. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Set, lady.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Brian Burns able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. On the return, Jackson. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away. Defense,
we've
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jarrett Davis, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Back to throw, Newton. They'll roll him out right. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Here's Hill on the return. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Brian Burns bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to draw up something good here on 3rd and 13.
32. Mike, check. 59. Get ready. Jay, Charlie.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Brian Burns make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
And now we're going to get a delay of game. And that's going to back him up halfway. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away.
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Richard trying the right side. Nifty move. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Set. Set, ready? Squeeze. Go.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Then they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Stafford. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Check 59.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 21, and he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here.
And the pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Now, following the interception, here's Newton. Flushed out right. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Ready? Ready? Check. He's coming. Gun. Get it.
Newton's going to throw it out to his left. And his throw is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
First down, Panthers.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch block, motion, block, block, block. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Shit. Eight.
This is Richard.
Double up. He's got it, double up.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
On 2nd and 9, Newton forced out to his left. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Newton. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Check. 40's mine. 40's a month. 40's a month. 6 man. Check curls.
What is it?
Yeah, check. Hey, Mike. Hey, no, switch the mic right here. We go Mike 40.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
He's going to look deep for more. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, but it's going to be 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Newton going for the deep ball. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Carolina, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.